When I say, do you have a vision? What kind of a vision are you thinking? A vision for their finances, a vision about what to give them as property, or if it is a daughter, whom to get the child married to? No. I'm not talking about these things. These are the financial aspects which the parents will figure out or have to figure out. I am talking about something deeper. Do you have a vision of the child? Is what are the core values that you are going to inculcate the child with? Or what are the core ethics that the child will learn from you? What are the cultural values that you want to include it in their personality? What is the kind of a mindset that you want to bring up the child with? These are some of the work that you have to do as a parent, because as a parent it is just not enough to provide. If you are just providing, that you are not completely doing the job of a good parenting. It is not a good parenting tip. What is more important is what is the kind of time, what is the kind of value that you are getting into the child's life. Let us segregate them into small pieces and then break them down into small pieces, and then we will discuss each one of it today. So when I say vision, so first let us divide them into 4 parts. We're going to talk about what are the interests of the child. Rather than you coming up with your failed career option or with expectation about yourself, don't thrust it on your child. So if you wanted to become a doctor or an engineer, which is a failed attempt and you could not become one, so don't put it on your child and don't make it your life's target to make him one if he does not want to become one. So the first aspect is understand what does the child likes. Is also one aspect of it. If you actually want the child to become an engineer or a doctor, you bind the child, you get the child to have interest in that field. For example, you try to take them to a mechanic shop and show them the equipment. If you want them to be a mechanical engineer, if you want them to a doctor, take them to a doctor unit, take them to an hospital, take them to people who practice it, take them to people who will talk about it. So what you're doing is you're slowly ingraining it in the mindset of the child that this is what is the interest and this is how you have to do, or this is what you have to do in your future. That is one way of doing it. And the second way of doing it is that you are trying to understand what the child is good in and then you are trying to act on it. But leaving these 2 paths, don't take up a different path and trying to, you had to go to a coaching institute where you were there from morning 6 o'clock to night 12 o'clock. You were being constantly mugging up formulas so that you also put your child through the grind. That does not make sense, right? So understand, how are you going to make the child feel the happiness of doing it? So find that way out. So understand what the child is good in, understand how the child can do better, understand what are the strengths of the child, understand what are the weaknesses of the child, and tell the child that these are your weaknesses, but yet you got to work on it. You are not good in maths yet. You have to slowly make the improvement and then go forward. So that is what a vision, planning and execution is, where you are, by the end of it, you feel the child has to become an engineer or a doctor or a space researcher or a scientist. So you are slowly making sure the child reaches there, not by chance, but by action. The second thing is, this is the academic pursuit of it is what we are talking about right now. Before this, we have to understand what kind of mental aspect would you want to give the child. When we're talking about the mental aspect, you have to understand that the child is yours. Whatever fears you carry, you are transferring it to your child. Whatever self-worth issues or insecurities that you carry, whatever dark secrets that you carry, you are going to transfer it to your child at one point or the other. So ensure that you don't transfer it. Because if XYZ did not work for you, that means that XYZ will not work for the other child also. So don't use the sentences like, don't imitate me, or don't become like your father. No. The child actually learns what they see. They are constantly 24 into 7, 365 days, they are watching. They are watching. They are watching your insecurities, they are watching your anger issues, they are watching your romances, they are watching your habits, they are watching. And finally, they are going to become what you show them, intentionally, unintentionally, purposefully. That is what is going to transfer. So, if you want your child to have good habits, you ensure that you have one first. You cannot keep your room dirty and ask your child to clean up their home. So the child needs to see every day morning that you are folding your blanket, you are keeping your room clean, and then the child will follow. So this is the mindset that we're going to talk about. There are many things, hundreds of things that you would not know. Since you have a vision to raise your child well, since you have a vision to make something good out of your child, learn them. That's the best way. The third thing, habits. Habits are some things that you follow without a second thought. If you are raised to brush your teeth once you wake up, you will do it. No matter what, no matter which continent you are in, no matter which aspect of thing you are, if you don't have a brush or a tongue cleaner, at least you will wash your mouth. Because that is a habit that has been ingrained in you while you were young. So if a child is not brushing their teeth, that means the parent has not made it a strict practice to do it once the child wakes up. So instead of finding fault with the child, understand where is it coming from. There could be many things that you would say, I am not doing it, but the child is doing it. It just not be you. It could be other members of the family, your extended family. The child is watching. So if you really want to inculcate good habits, ensure the child is raised in an environment where it is basically the habits are practiced on a day-to-day basis. Now, we cannot have Abdul Kalams and XYZ in everybody's home. Abdul Kalam was once in a blue moon offspring that came out of a family of 14 children. So let us not compare and talk about just one Abdul Kalam or one XYZ or one ABC. Let's be more practical. I often see parents talking about the child is not reading books. How many times have the child seen you reading a book? You talking about a book? You discussing about a topic of a book, or you debating about a character? You got to sit with the child. You got to read to the child, you got to debate with the child, you got to discuss the character traits with the child, and then yes, the child is going to read. I have 2 daughters and I am a bookworm. I love books, so I have a library of books. My elder daughter loves books. She just can read anywhere, anything. But I have a younger daughter who does not like reading at all. So being a parent, I need to respect her interest of not reading the book, so I give her something else more valuable. So I need to respect my elder daughter's interest in books, so I give her more books. I give her more better things to do. So at the same time, when I have tried to inculcate the habit of reading books in both the kids, I have also understood or recognized the interest aspect of it, that even with constant habit making efforts, and the child is not interested because the child was like a father who does not like books, so the children can pick up DNA from both the parents. So I cannot say that because since I like books, you got to do this. Yeah, I did made an effort. I did show her books. I did give her different books. I did give her a new book every time. But the child never liked. She just liked the pictures and just left it. So the elder one was not so. So I need to also respect the other child's thing, and I gave her a better hobby or a interest that she liked. So I cannot complain in certain aspects of it because things are what they are. So once we are planning, we got to understand the vision has to be both the reality and what is the outcome that you're looking. So, because you don't invest where you know that you are not going to get returns, right? You are going to invest when you know that the property is going to upscale or you're going to get a good money out of it. So the same thing, whatever you're investing in the child is going to come back to you in return. If you're constantly criticizing, see, as a parent, you constantly want to make the child better than what you are, but the child is seeing you. If you are panicking, if you are anxious most of the time, how do you think the child is going to be patient? The child is going to be like, it's okay, cool. How? Because you are already putting it into the child. Constantly, day in, day out, you're showing anxiety. The maid has not come, you're showing anxiety. The food is not done in time, you are showing anxiety. She has not prepared for her exam, you are showing anxiety. So the child also mirrors the same kind of an behavior, the same kind of a mindset. And it is common, and it is, unless you take a pause and you say, no, I need to change my response to the problem. And then the child sees a different way. The child sees a better way. And then the child will take it. Okay, fine. You can panic. That is one way of responding. But you can also take a pause and think about an alternative. I lost a key. So instead of banging the child, it's better you take a pause, call a locksmith, get the duplicate work done, and then get into the house. But if you are going to hit the child did not lose it out of whatever circumstance you lost it. So when you have done this second way of response, the child sees that the first response to a situation is not to panic and yell and create a scene, but pause, think, act. So that's how you have to bring up different situations. If I am saying that you got to be independent, but if I am not allowing the child to be independent in basic things of selecting her own dress or selecting her own cuisine or selecting her own friends, then how is she going to be independent? What is the purpose of that independence if she does not know how to choose, if she does not know how to make decisions, if she does not know how to, even if it is wrong, you don't have to judge it. You are still alive, you are still there. When the child needs you, the child need not make the best decisions, but at least teach them that you have to make the decision no matter what. And when you take a decision, you got to be accountable, not just responsible for that yes, I have taken this decision and yes, I am the person to be blamed or to be praised if the decision goes well or not. So this is the kind of planning that needs to be done. I know that most of you must be feeling that I'm not even halfway through. So I'm still learning. That's okay. That's okay that you are learning. It's okay. But you got to be aware. You got to be reading. You got to be learning. You got to understand that the era in which you were raised and the era in which your child is being raised are two different eras. It was okay that your mother would hit you twice and then get the work done. But today's child, it is not possible. The child becomes adamant, the child becomes stubborn, and the child is like, I am not doing it no matter what. Why do you want to stretch it to an extent where the child is breaking off and they don't want to be a part of your whole thing anymore? So, patience is one thing that parenting teaches you day in and day out, and you got to take it. I know there are your struggles with your partners, there are struggles with your work, there are struggles with your boss, there are struggles with getting the money that you require to run the house, your parents, your expectations from the relatives, the extended family, your vacations. Everything I understand, but this is the project that you have got them into this world, and you got to do it the best because you reap what you sow. So this whole thing of making a vision is just not about scaring you out, but it is about trying to make things more easier. When you know that I want my child to be this. You want your child to have this kind of mindset. Understand, give them that caliber, give them that opportunity to inculcate that kind of a mindset that you're talking about. Okay, and let them see what it is to have that kind of a mind. You have to be successful to ensure that a child is also successful. Because the child sees, it's just not words. The child sees the work within. If you're working late, make the child understand why are you working late. Let the child not just blame you that you're never available. You once in a while, take the child to the office. Let the child witness what you're going through on a day-to-day basis. When the child sees what the father is doing or what the mother is doing, what the parent is doing to ensure the smooth sailing of the house, I'm sure the child will understand. The child might not understand just some, weird phrases and some imaginary words, but the child will definitely understand what the child sees. I often see parents talking about no screen time, and the child is seeing you with the phone most of the time. So how does no screen time matter? When the child sees you doing a better work, you pursuing a hobby, you doing some gardening or reading or stitching or whatever XYZ hobbies you have, then the child feels okay. There is a life out of the screen also. But whenever the child sees you, they are seeing you watching a movie, watching a web series, watching a song or dancing to a song. What are you going to expect out of the child? The child will also become that. I see young children, thumke lagate hue or, dancing to, singing, Bollywood movie songs. So if you want the child to be different, you got to expose the child to different things. You got to expose the child to, better things, more interesting things. You cannot have two ways up. And suddenly when the report card comes, you are all hurling persons and shouting on the child that I spent so much money, we do so many things, we sacrifice our lives for you. But dear parent, you have not been there in the process. There was no plan, there was no execution. Hence, the mark. When the child is getting 5 out of 10 or 2 out of 10 in the class, you very well know that is going to be the representation of the marks that will come in the final term. How did you expect the child will get an 80 or a 90? So this is how the vision comes. What is the responsibility of the father? What is the responsibility of the mother? And you got to understand and tell them that yes, the mother has taken up cooking as a responsibility, not because her gender has decided that, but because she loves cooking for the family. If a father likes cooking and he wants to put in, like my dad loves cooking, and we had Sundays when he would cook for us, or on some weekdays he would really cook for us. So that is how I learned making my first dish, because my dad used to make it. That's fine. There were no gender roles. They were just that he loves cooking and he made it. So ensure, don't genderize any particular work, and you can teach them, and that is how you're going to bring up a child. Yet the child will have his own traumas, own responses to the situations, but you got to sort them out. So talk to the child deliberately on a day-to-day basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. Keep talking to the child. Once you keep talking to the child, then it becomes more easier, and don't react to it. Talk and leave. Take out a solution. Don't bring it to every other discussion you have with your child the next week, or every other topic. You don't prompt them. Yeah, we parents, we do that very often, but you can be a bit liberal. The day you see that the child has reached the vision that you had when the child was young, that day, as a parent, you are successful. You could be Steve Jobs, you could be any best person in the world, but if your child is not successful, but then you feel like a failure, no matter how much laurels you have got for the family. So let's plan a proper vision. Please connect with us so that we can help you make a vision for your family, for your child. both the parents should sit together and create a vision so that everybody is on the same page and they are trying to make it happen rather than just out of a blue we have done something. Let's gather more evidence as to why we have chosen that. Let's have more facts and figures with us where we can say that yes, these are the core values that I want my child to have because XYZ, or these are the ethics that I like, or this is the cultural aspects that I want my child to grow up with. So have this thing. It's beautiful planning that you do. I do it on a regular basis, and I am where I am because of constant understanding of where I want my kids to be and what I want my kids to feel and what I want them to learn. My challenges too. The child can learn from your challenges too. When they see you evolving, when they see you learning, and when they see you becoming successful, they will follow, provided they're a part of your success plan or they're a part of your life. That's how we can do it together, and then we can make a better plan, and then we can track it so that we go a long way and we revamp certain aspects of it which is not working, or we can renew, bring in some new aspects which can be an inclusion. So let's plan. Let's start the journey of planning the vision for your child. Thank you so much. I hope this was informative.